The little boy had won the marathon, but he was crying. All he had wanted was the third-place prize, the pair of sneakers, so that his sister wouldn't have to take turns wearing his shoes to school every day. It had all started when he went to have his sister's shoes repaired. While he was out buying groceries, the shoes were accidentally taken away with the trash. Frantically searching for them, he knocked over a vendor's stall, and the angry owner shouted and struck him. Back home, he told his sister the shoes were lost. Without shoes, she couldn't go to school. He begged her not to tell their mother, then went out again to look, but still couldn't find them. When he returned late, his father scolded him. His sister wrote him a note asking how she would go to school the next day. Martin told her to wear his shoe and gave her a pencil as a small consolation. The next morning, his sister went to school in his oversized shoes. After school, she ran home as fast as she could. Martin quickly switched shoes with her and dashed to school, barely avoiding being caught by the principal. Later, Martin asked his sister to come home earlier next time. She complained that his shoes were dirty and smelly, so together they washed them, playing with soap bubbles and momentarily forgetting about the lost pair. On the third day, his sister had a midterm exam. Knowing Martin was waiting for the shoes, she rushed through the test, turned it in early, and ran home in such a hurry that one shoe fell into a gutter. She chased after it, but it got stuck. Crying, she was eventually helped by a kind passerby and a sanitation worker who retrieved the shoe. Martin scolded her for getting the shoes wet and reminded her that even if she told their father, he couldn't afford new ones. Martin arrived late to school again and was caught by the principal, who warned that one more late arrival would mean expulsion. Back in class, a friend invited him to play soccer the next day, but Martin refused, knowing his sister needed his shoes. Later, Martin earned top marks in his class. After school, his sister was still upset, so he gave her the automatic pencil he had received as a reward from his teacher. But because of the delay, he was late again and faced the principal once more. Only after his homeroom teacher stepped in to explain was he forgiven. That evening, Martin's father received a set of gardening tools and took Martin to the city to look for yard work. After going door to door, an elderly man hired them, and they earned a decent amount. On the way home, Martin asked his father to buy new shoes for his sister, and his father happily agreed. But while going down a steep hill, their bicycle's brakes failed, sending them crashing. The money they had earned went straight to paying for damages to a truck, and the shoes would have to wait. The next day, school announced a citywide long-distance race. When Martin saw that the third-place prize was a pair of sneakers, he immediately signed up with his PE teacher. He told his sister the good news, promising her he would win those shoes for her. On the day of the race, Martin quietly knelt to tighten his shoelaces. When the starting gun fired, everyone took off. Some kids fell, others dropped out along the way. Though exhausted, Martin kept thinking of his sister's need for shoes and pushed forward, passing runner after runner. Before he knew it, he was in the lead. He glanced back, slowed down intentionally, and settled into what he thought was third place. But then someone bumped into it, and he stumbled. Scrambling up, he focused on staying in third. In the final sprint, it was too close to tell. Several boys crossed the finish line almost together. Breathlessly, Martin asked his teacher if he was third. Instead, the teacher excitedly told him, "You're the champion." But Martin couldn't feel happy. All he had wanted was that third-place prize. When officials came to take photos with him, he faced the camera with tears in his eyes. Back home, he didn't know how to explain to his sister. She could tell from his expression. Martin took off his worn-out shoes, his feet covered in blisters, and silently promised himself that one day, when he was grown, he would buy his sister the most beautiful shoes in the world.